Alrighty. So hi guys. This is Curtis, OGA Australia with Aydan.
Oh yeah.
With the song Dust. Hey Aydan, how you going?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks. For those who don't know who you are and don't know about your song, could you give a brief description of your song?
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely. Well, I wrote Dust about. Initially, it started as like a broken relationship that you just kind of you keep pushing all the problems down and just kind of ignoring them to be together. But obviously, that like 9 times out of 10, that's the wrong thing to do. But it seems to be what people do with their issues, and you just kind of bottle them up, and it's unhealthy. So I wrote it about a relationship that you just keep coming back to each other, even though you keep having these problems. And yeah, it just became this kind of this voice for all kinds of issues and how we all just tend to deal with them the wrong way. And I hoped that in writing it, I would kind of encourage people to deal with their issues a bit more because like we all have them. So yeah, that's kind of where Dust came from.
yeah, it's such a lovely song.
Thank you.
Like yeah, every time I listen, like what Leah said, it just feels really real and
Yeah. It just kind of we just kind of came. It was one of those sessions where like we just kept steamrolling with these like sad thoughts, and then like Dust just kind of emerged from it.
So was Dust the only kind of song you had in mind to apply to the Australia Decides? Did you have other songs that you entered?
I didn't have other songs that I entered, but I definitely had other songs that, like, I was thinking about entering before I chose Dust. But in the back of my mind, the whole time, I was just like, there's just something different about this song in particular, and like, I don't want to just put out another, pop song or a song with no meaning. I figured I would make the most of the experience and kind of bring an important issue to life with with the exposure and all the people in the crowd. Yeah, I feel like it'll be a really good message to send out.
Is this your first song that you've ever written or your first writing experience with music? Have you had history with writing music?
This was actually my fourth writing session like ever. So I kind of had 3 sessions to get all of the bad, terrible songs out of the way, and then we got to the fourth session, and yeah, Dust just kind of happened. So
Just happened?
yeah, it was crazy.
So you're no stranger to performing. You were on The Voice recently, the
Yeah,
last season,
just the last
wasn't it?
season.
Yeah. Could you tell us a bit about your experience on The Voice and how it changed you as both a person and as a performer before The Voice and then afterwards?
Yeah, well, I actually auditioned for The Voice in 2017, and I got to the blind audition stage and I didn't turn a chair. So like that just shows I had a huge kind of self-growth in the last year between 2017 and 18, and I decided to re-audition and yeah, turned all 4 chairs, made it all the way to the grand final, and it was a crazy experience. And just like that 1 year was so huge for me to kind of grow as an artist, and I really felt, I was 17 at the time, but I really did feel like I was maturing into a real artist. And even since The Voice, since I had that huge experience, it was absolutely unbelievable. I toured around Australia. I've had so many amazing opportunities, just like Australia Decides, and yeah, I've grown so much more since The Voice, and I just can't wait to continue growing as a person and as an artist.
Did you make any good connections on The Voice? Anyone that you became friends with or any of the judges that you really connected with other than your own judge?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, all the contestants were still really close. We stuck together for like the whole, all the live periods. We're all in the same room, just like, stressing together. So, yeah, we all got really close. And the coaches were all really supportive. I mean, obviously, I had the closest bond with Joe Jonas, who was my coach. And, we still keep in contact and chat every now and again,
awesome.
just to, check in and say what's up. So that's really amazing. But I also had a good connection with Delta because we had like she felt a real good connection with me the first year that I auditioned, and I didn't turn a chair. So when I came back, it was kind of like this reunite and
Oh, that's so nice.
yeah. So it was really amazing. So yeah, I've definitely made some great connections through it.
Wow. In regards to Joe Jonas, has he heard your song? Has he given you any advice for this competition?
Yeah, well, he's definitely heard the song. I sent him a link before we actually released the song, just so he could have a listen and give his thoughts. And he said it was really cool. He really likes how like raw and emotional it is. And I mean, the best advice he's given me since I've known him is just have fun, and I feel like that really applies to this, because even though it's quite a serious song, I'm gonna go out there and do what I love, which is sing on stage and sing for people and entertain. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna have as much fun as I can, and yeah, whatever happens happens.
Awesome. Just some fun questions.
Yeah.
Because we're a Eurovision fan club.
Oh yeah.
They asked it previously, but what's some of the Eurovision songs in the past that have stood out to you?
Well, I'm really bad with names, but I really liked from the last season of Eurovision. I believe her name. She was from Cyprus, and Eleni, that's her name, right? The song was Fuego.
Fuego.
Yes, I loved that performance.
So crazy with that.
Yeah, and she was like pitch perfect, and she was like
Yes.
jamming out on stage and flicking her hair around, and I thought that was so inspiring for someone like me, because at the shows that I played before we finished the tour, it's very energetic stuff, very dancing around on stage and just having a good time with the crowd. So this is kind of something different for me. So I definitely admired. I definitely
Yeah,
admired
it's
that
good to explore
performance.
different genres and different
Yeah.
beats. Like
Definitely,
yeah.
definitely.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
Ooh, go-to
What do you-
karaoke.
I love karaoke.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I found that Horses is always a great one.
Oh, very
You
powerful,
just
very
very
Australian.
powerful, very Australian. Just Eurovision Australia decides, but as soon as you start singing it, it just kind of makes everybody want to erupt with singing it with me.
Yes,
That's definitely a
It's a
go-to.
very crowd pleaser.
Oh,
Crowd
yeah.
pleaser of a song. Awesome. Anyway, it was great chatting to you, Aydan.
man,
it
you
was
too.
lovely to meet you. I'll be watching tonight and
Oh.
all the other shows. I'm super excited to see what you have.
Thank you. I appreciate
Thanks. Nice to meet you. All the best.
Thank you.